So the app was supposed to cost $80,000. Were red flags raised to the minister when costs hit $1 million? Yes or no?
Mr. Chair, to whose minister?
To the minister responsible for your department.
Civil servants responsible for federal purchasing and buying tell MPs that while they did sign off on contracts for the ArriveCAN app, they say the responsibility ultimately lies with border services, not procurement.
Ultimately, the decisions and the authority for those decisions still rests with the departments that are required to buy goods and services to carry out their mandates.
Public Services and Procurement were questioned by MPs alongside the Auditor General over ArriveCAN, an app with development costs ballooning to nearly $60 million. In her report, Auditor Karen Hogan says documentation was so scarce she couldn't find out why one firm, GC Strategies, got nearly a third of that money. MPs wanted to know why civil servants responsible for spending didn't raise alarms. Procurement officials say they did advise border services against giving non-competitive contracts to GC Strategies, but those officials say it's up to the department doing the buying to follow that advice.
There is a mechanism to use non-competitive contracts. There are you need a justification for that use of that, and so those mechanisms were used and processed. So while they did not accept our advice at the beginning, there was nothing to flag that they were outside of the rules of procurement.
Procurement officials added they've tightened up practices, but Conservative MPs were highly skeptical that would help.
The question is whether your department is doing anything, whether your department is adding value. If you were able to allow this kind of corruption, incompetence, or both in the procurement process, if it just happened while you were there, was your department adding any value? Was it doing anything in the process?
Given this complexity, we have processes, procurement processes that are complex to try and deal with kind of rules, regulations, and whatnot. What we are doing and what our strong effort is to make procurement simpler so it's more open to small, medium-sized enterprises across this country.
In Ottawa, Shaoli Lee, City News.